HVRL Cup dreams never stop until it's won. Corners cut precise like a chef with the blade. Every lap a legacy, the history we made. Tires screaming, engines humming, that's the anthem. Rivals in my rear view, yeah, I outran them. Tracks a battlefield, asphalt's my domain. Best of the best, y'all just playing in the rain. HVRL Cup Kings, we the top of the track. Chasing every flag, no way we looking back. Best of the best, yeah, we taking the crown. HVRL Cup dreams, we ain't slowing down. Apex predator, carving lines through the air. Victory in my veins, competition beware. Fast as a rumor, slick as a thief. Every curve I conquer's a moment of belief. Gasoline ambition, turbocharged soul. Pistons like a heartbeat, never lose control. Adrenaline's a drug, I'm addicted to the rush. Rolls my canvas, speeds the artist brush. HVRL Cup Kings, we the top of the track. Chasing every flag, no way we looking back. Best of the best, yeah, we taking the crown. HVRL Cup dreams, we ain't slowing down. HVRL Cup Kings, HVRL Cup Kings, HVRL Cup Kings, yeah, we ain't slowing down. Son, HVRL Cup dreams never stop until it's won. Corners cut precise like a chef with the blade. Every lap a legacy, the history we made. Tires screaming, engines humming, that's the anthem. Rivals in my rear view, yeah, I outran them. Tracks a battlefield, asphalt's my domain. Best of the best, y'all just playing in the rain. HVRL Cup Kings, we the top of the track. Chasing every flag, no way we looking back. Best of the best, yeah, we taking the crown. HVRL Cup dreams, we ain't slowing down. Apex predator, carving lines through the air. Victory in my veins, competition beware. Fast as a rumor, slick as a thief. Every curve I conquer's a moment of belief. Gasoline ambition, turbocharged soul. Pistons like a heartbeat, never lose control. Adrenaline's a drug, I'm addicted to the rush. Rolls my canvas, speeds the artist brush. HVRL Cup Kings, we the top of the track. Chasing every flag, no way we looking back. Best of the best, yeah, we taking the crown. HVRL Cup dreams, we ain't slowing down. HVRL Cup Kings, HVRL Cup Kings, HVRL Cup Kings, yeah, we ain't slowing down. Son, HVRL Cup dreams never stop until it's won. Corners cut precise like a chef with the blade. Every lap a legacy, the history we made. Tires screaming, engines humming, that's the anthem. Rivals in my rear view, yeah, I outran them. Tracks a battlefield, asphalt's my domain. Best of the best, y'all just playing in the rain. HVRL Cup Kings, we the top of the track. Chasing every flag, no way we looking back. Best of the best, yeah, we taking the crown. HVRL Cup dreams, we ain't slowing down. Apex predator, carving lines through the air. Victory in my veins, competition beware. Fast as a rumor, slick as a thief. Every curve I conquer's a moment of belief. Gasoline ambition, turbocharged soul. Pistons like a heartbeat, never lose control. Adrenaline's a drug, I'm addicted to the rush. Rolls my canvas, speeds the artist brush. HVRL Cup Kings, we the top of the track. Chasing every flag, no way we looking back. Best of the best, yeah, we taking the crown. HVRL Cup dreams, we ain't slowing down. HVRL Cup Kings, HVRL Cup Kings, HVRL Cup Kings, yeah, we ain't slowing down. Son, HVRL Cup dreams never stop until it's won. Corners cut precise like a chef with the blade. Every lap a legacy, the history we made. Tires screaming, engines humming, that's the anthem. Rivals in my rear view, yeah, I outran them. Tracks a battlefield, asphalt's my domain. Best of the best, y'all just playing in the rain. HVRL Cup Kings, we the top of the track. Chasing every flag, no way we looking back. Best of the best, yeah, we taking the crown. HVRL Cup dreams, we ain't slowing down. Apex predator, carving lines through the air. Victory in my veins, competition beware. Fast as a rumor, slick as a thief. Every curve I conquer's a moment of belief. Gasoline ambition, turbocharged soul. Pistons like a heartbeat, never lose control. Adrenaline's a drug, I'm addicted to the rush. Rolls my canvas, speeds the artist brush. taking the crown. HVRL Cup dreams. We ain't slowing down. HVRL Cup dreams. HVRL Cup dreams. Mama, HVRL Cup dreams. Yeah, we ain't slowing down. Son, HVRL Cup dreams never stop until it's won. Corners cut precise like a chef with the blade. Every lap a legacy, the history we made. Tires screaming, engines humming, that's the anthem. Rivals in my rear view, yeah, I outran them. Tracks a battlefield, asphalt's my domain. Best of the best, y'all just playing in the rain. HVRL Cup Kings, we the top of the track. Chasing every flag, no way we looking back. Best of the best, yeah, we taking the crown. HVRL Cup dreams. We ain't slowing down. Apex predator, carving lines through the air. Victory in my veins, competition beware. Fast as a rumor, slick as a thief. Every curve I conquer's a moment of belief. Gasoline ambition, turbocharged soul. Pistons like a heartbeat, never lose control. Adrenaline's a drug, I'm addicted to the rush. Roads my canvas, speeds the artist's brush. HVRL Cup Kings, we the top of the track. Chasing every flag, no way we looking back. Best of the best, yeah, we taking the crown. HVRL Cup dreams. We ain't slowing down. HVRL Cup dreams. HVRL Cup dreams. Mama, HVRL Cup dreams. Yeah, we ain't slowing down. Son, HVRL Cup dreams never stop until it's won. Corners cut precise like a chef with the blade. Every lap a legacy, the history we made. Tires screaming, engines humming, that's the anthem. Rivals in my rear view, yeah, I outran them. Tracks a battlefield, asphalt's my domain. Best of the best, y'all just playing in the rain. HVRL Cup Kings, we the top of the track. Chasing every flag, no way we looking back. Best of the best, yeah, we taking the crown. HVRL Cup dreams. We ain't slowing down. Apex predator, carving lines through the air. Victory in my veins, competition beware. Fast as a rumor, slick as a thief. Every curve I conquer's a moment of belief. Gasoline ambition, turbocharged soul. Pistons like a heartbeat, never lose control. Adrenaline's a drug, I'm addicted to the rush. Roads my canvas, speeds the artist's brush. HVRL Cup Kings, we the top of the track. Chasing every flag, no way we looking back. Best of the best, yeah, we taking the crown. HVRL Cup dreams. We ain't slowing down. HVRL Cup dreams. HVRL Cup dreams. Mama, HVRL Cup dreams. Yeah, we ain't slowing down. Son, HVRL Cup dreams never stop until it's won. Corners cut precise like a chef with the blade. Every lap a legacy, the history we made. Tires screaming, engines humming, that's the anthem. Rivals in my rear view, yeah, I outran them. Tracks a battlefield, asphalt's my domain. Best of the best, y'all just playing in the rain. HVRL Cup Kings, we the top of the track. Chasing every flag, no way we looking back. Best of the best, yeah, we taking the crown. HVRL Cup dreams. We ain't slowing down. Apex predator, carving lines through the air. Victory in my veins, competition beware. Fast as a rumor, slick as a thief. Every curve I conquer's a moment of belief. Gasoline ambition, turbocharged soul. Pistons like a heartbeat, never lose control. Adrenaline's a drug, I'm addicted to the rush. Roads my canvas, speeds the artist's brush. HVRL Cup Kings, we the top of the track. Chasing every flag, no way we looking back. Best of the best, yeah, we taking the crown. HVRL Cup dreams. We ain't slowing down. HVRL Cup dreams. HVRL Cup dreams. Mama, HVRL Cup dreams. Yeah, we ain't slowing down.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to High Velocity Racing League here on the High Velocity Racing Network. Tonight we have Cup Series action as the drivers take on Speedway, Indiana's Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The track that Penske built. As tonight's Brickyard 200, 80 laps here from the 2.5-mile long oval here in Speedway, Indiana, also known as Indianapolis. It's part of Indianapolis. 78-degree ambient temperature with a 6-mile-an-hour wind. Clear skies here this evening with 104-degree track temp. 80 laps, like I mentioned. 3 additional sets of tires with a fast repair in stages at laps 24 and 48. Taking a look at the playoff grid. Christian McCrelly leading the way, with Ryzen Baker, Garrett Wiles, Jose Mercado, and Andrew McGarrigle all getting wins. Brandon Dayhoff already locked in to the playoffs on points. Sean Happick plus 281 to the cut line. Sean Wilder plus 264, had a good showing last week. Wesley Burke plus 215 in 9th. And then Chris Polhamus plus 114 in the 10th spot. Ryan Stevenson plus 91 and Thomas Freitas plus 90 to the cut line. Brad Moore on the other side of that line. And Scott Milliken at minus 103 and Keith Vaughn at minus 146, the top 15. Let's go down on track here and take a look at where some of our drivers are. We'll look at the fastest driver so far. Well, that's Ryzen Baker. Ryzen's got a 52.141 to start the top of the post. Of course, the draft going to be very vital here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, especially down the straightaways. So exit speed in 2 and 4 going to be critical as well. Baker's fastest, Jose Mercado, is spinning through the grass down the backstretch with a race car that is toast. But he's second fastest so far at a 52.288. And teammate to Mercado in the number 9 of C.D. Mangrum. With a 52.290, barely behind Mercado's time. Last week's winner, Garrett Wiles, right now sits as the 4th fastest. He is not in the car. The car's maybe getting tweaked. And 5th fastest is Chris Polhamus. He's down on pit road right now in the number 33. Drivers here tonight, so a decent-sized field for Indianapolis. And Baker just turned in another fast lap. 52.043. And Mangrum actually able to get faster than Mercado now, too, with a 52.077. And that will conclude our practice. Of Of course, the drivers had 30 minutes of practice, and now we get into the 5-minute qualifying to see who's going to start it on the pole. The farthest one on their outlap is Jose Mercado, so we will take a ride along with the 41. Again, exit speed of 2 and 4 are the most vital. And of course, making sure you don't make contact with the wall, also pretty vital, especially through the short chute. Turn 1 for Mercado. So far, so good. Aiming to get that car below the thin white line, but not quite on the curb. And off of turn 4, here comes Mercado's first lap. He should be the first one to post one. 52.114, that's a good lap from Mercado. Dylan Calkins about to put down his first lap. 53.340 there for Calkins. Mangrum with a 53.874 as well. Keith Vaughn in the 23. Coming off of turn 4 right now. Crossing the line for the 23. He's at a 52.952, sitting in 12th. And loose there out of turn 1. And Ryzen Baker's first lap. Looks like he might have got the wall. Mangrum up to second right there on his second lap with a 52.177. We'll see what Baker's able to do here. Lap 2 for Ryzen. Is 52.213 for good enough for 4th. Brad Borer off of turn 4 here in the 24 car. Sits 6th right now. Able to jump over Wilder into 5th, but then Garrett Wiles up to 2nd on lap 1. He is going to hit the wall there in lap 2. So it seems like Wiles will be content with that position. Hapik up into 8th after his second lap. Good practice for pit road entry here. will conclude the qualifying session. So we'll be right back here with the starting grid for tonight's race.
HVRL Cup dreams never stop until it's won. Corners cut precise like a chef with the blade. Every lap a legacy, the history we made. Tires screaming, engines humming, that's the anthem. Rivals in my rear view, yeah, I outran them. Tracks a battlefield, asphalt's my domain. Best of the best, y'all just playing in the rain. HVRL Cup Kings, we the top of the track. Chasing every flag, no way we looking back. Best of the best, yeah, we taking the crown. HVRL Cup dreams, we ain't slowing down. Apex predator, carving lines through the air. Victory in my veins, competition beware. Fast as a rumor, slick as a thief. Every curve I conquer's a moment of belief. Gasoline ambition, turbocharged soul. Pistons like a heartbeat, never lose control. Adrenaline's a drug, I'm addicted to the rush. Roads my canvas, speeds the artist brush. HVRL Cup Kings, we the top of the track. Chasing every flag, no way we looking back. Best of the best, yeah, we taking the crown. HVRL Cup dreams, we ain't slowing down. HVRL Cup dreams, HVRL Cup dreams, HVRL Cup dreams, yeah, we ain't slowing down. Son, HVRL Cup dreams never stop until it's won. Corners cut precise like a chef with the blade. Every lap a legacy, the history we made. Tires screaming, engines humming, that's the anthem. Rivals in my rear view, yeah, I outran them. Tracks a battlefield, asphalt's my domain. Best of the best, y'all just playing in the rain. HVRL Cup Kings, we the top of the track. Chasing every flag, no way we looking back. Best of the best, yeah, we taking the crown. HVRL Cup dreams, we ain't slowing down. Apex predator, carving lines through the air. Victory in my veins, competition beware. Fast as a rumor, slick as a thief. Every curve I conquer's a moment of belief. Gasoline ambition, turbocharged soul. Pistons like a heartbeat, never lose control. Adrenaline's a drug, I'm addicted to the rush. Roads my canvas, speeds the artist brush. HVRL Cup Kings, we the top of the track. Chasing every flag, no way we looking back. Best of the best, yeah, we taking the crown. HVRL Cup dreams, we ain't slowing down. HVRL Cup dreams, HVRL Cup dreams, HVRL Cup dreams, yeah, we ain't slowing down. Son, HVRL Cup dreams never stop until it's won. Corners cut precise like a chef with the blade. Every lap a legacy, the history we made. Tires screaming, engines humming, that's the anthem. Rivals in my rear view, yeah, I outran them. Tracks a battlefield, asphalt's my domain. Best of the best, y'all just playing in the rain. HVRL Cup Kings, we the top of the track. Chasing every flag, no way we looking back. Best of the best, yeah, we taking the crown. HVRL Cup dreams, we ain't slow.
You guys get to see the behind the scenes there for the drivers meeting. But the Brickyard 200 here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway here tonight. Again, 80 laps, and Jose Mercado starts on the pole position here for tonight, with Garrett Wiles in the number 91 joining him on row number 1. C.D. Mangrum in the number 9 starts row 2 on the inside with Paul Pfeffer in the 64. Ryzen Baker starts P5 tonight in the 77 with Brad Board, who is outside in row 3. Row number 4 is the Sean Show. Sean Wilder, Sean Happick in that row. Sean's got the inside and the outside. Chris Polhamus starts 9th tonight in the 33 with John Feely to his outside, rounding out the top 10 in qualifying. Then Brandon Dayhoff starts row 6 with Wesley Burke. Row number 7 has Danny Gross to the inside in the 39. Yep, I got it right. Ryan Stevenson starting to the outside in the 5. 15th tonight is Rob Kubat in the 38. And joining him in row number 8 is Jace Keller in the 45. Dylan Calkins in the 90 will be starting in the 17th position. To his outside will be Mark Miller. Row 10's got Keith Vaughn in the 23 to the inside with Tom Freitas in the 32. '21st, Christian McCrelly here in the 22 with JT Gerstner in the 70. And then Andrew McGarrigle rounding out the field here tonight in the number 11. This initial start will be super important. The second car in line gets a good start with that front car. All of the restarts will be that way. For this first one, Mercado and Mangrum on the inside row with Wiles and Pfeffer. Pace car will dive off. And on the green flag, as it flies into the air at the start of the Brickyard 200. It's a good start for the inside. Mangrum and Mercado will get lined up nice and tight. Wiles, though, with a great jump, keeps him in position on the outside. And he'll get to the front. Wiles going for back-to-back-to-back here tonight. Already has back-to-back wins. At Martinsville and Circuit of the Americas last week. Looking to rack up some more playoff points. He's going to probably lead lap number 1 here. Big aggressive moves to the very inside wall there. McGarrett Wiles will lead lap number 1 from Indianapolis. Great battle going on here for third. It's going to be potentially 3 wide. And there goes Mercado, got loose. Into the inside wall, it looked like. It's something to watch. Mercado from second to last on track. Never mind, McGarrigle had a penalty, that's right. That left front is wrecked right now. Mangrum will take over second. Fastest lap of the race so far goes to Mangrum that last time by. A lot of people getting tight through turn 1, getting that safer barrier. Baker to the inside for that third spot right now as Pfeffer holds it in the 64. Good tight battle back there going on for Borer, you saw in the background. Borer will get by Paul Hamus for the 7th spot. Great pass there to the 24. Single file down the front straightaway, the long front straightaway here at Indianapolis. Oh, and that's going to be the caution back there. Wesley Burke involved. That looked like a hard shot to the outside wall. I couldn't tell exactly what happened to him, but that car is broke. He's going to need to use his fast repair. I know Mercado already used his because he went down pit road. He's going to be crab walking a little bit. Let's go back and take a look at that. So what happened? Okay, let's take a look at what happened. Oh, looks like Dayhoff into the back bumper. We'll go to the chase cam here. Actually, we'll go to the far chase cam. I think that'll work better. Oh, it tags him on the left rear. Burke goes down, gets loose, and loses it into the 51. Down into Stevenson. Good job of everybody else avoiding, it seems like, for the most part. So Dayhoff getting some damage out of that. Stevenson, some damage. Actually, some pretty big damage for both those two as well. Yeah, we've seen that overcorrect snap right there happen quite a bit. Dayhoff slams the outside wall with the right front. Burke down across in front of Stevenson. Danny Gross, a little bit of contact. Keller looks like he might have gotten a little bit of that too. Danny got a little bit more on there, on the short shoot there as well. 32 squeaks by the 5. And then everybody else through clearly. They caught up to the pace car here. That's one of the things you got to be careful of on that long straightaway. Coming down into turns 1 and 3. Braking zones are different for people. And let-off points, if you want to call them that, are different for people as well. And it looks like Pfeffer... Nope, Mangrum going to stay out too. Everybody else seems like they're coming down pit road. 2 drivers stayed out. Mangrum and Pfeffer so far. The 32 staying out. And the 8 as well. That'll be your top 4. Everybody else coming down pit road here. So these 4 are banking on more cautions in the first stage. Looks like Wiles will hold serve and get out in front of everybody coming off pit road. Stevenson's still down on Pear Road, getting some of that damage repaired, trying to save the fast repair. I mean, it is early. That front of that car is torn up, though. Not sure how much he'll be able to get repaired. This time by, it should be 1 to go, so we should go back to the green flag here. Yeah, some people are going to come in and top off. I honestly don't think that's a bad idea. Come down, top off. Looks like that's only going to be a handful of people, though, coming down. So Mangrum taking the inside. That'll put Pfeffer in the 64 on the outside. Last time on the initial start, we saw the outside lane prevail a little bit as Wiles was able to take over the race lead and from there run away. See if the same will happen here on this restart. Mangrum will have more control rather than waiting for the green flag, so I would anticipate to see the 9 pull away a little earlier than when the green flag comes out, as long as it is in that box. Nine and the 32 on the inside, the 64 and the 8 on the outside. Again, that second driver in line, pretty important on the restarts. Let's see what they can do. Pace car dives off. Into the restart zone, and it looks like a pretty good jump there for the inside. Fieldy goes down and closes the door on Borer on the inside lane. Mangrum gets a good start. And Baker going to clear up in front of Pfeffer for third. Baker shows the nose down the backstretch rather, to the inside on the 32. He's going to stay just to the outside and behind. Polhamus down the inside on Mark Miller for that 7th spot. Polhamus continuing down the inside. A little bit of a slider, barely catches the wall a little bit. He'll be clear. Dayhoff right back in the mix with Wesley Burke, those two side by side. Side draft from Burke. Burke will clear. Baker looks up the inside on the 32 for second. And it looks Looks like Baker will clear. That'll put the 64 to the inside now. Pfeffer trying to get a good run down the back straightaway. Will clear. Able to get that arc down into turn 3. Oh, 32, very loose. Bohr's going to get by. And Fieldley will also get by through turns 3 and 4. Mostly single file here. Back to the inside. Miller going to get into the wall there. McGarrigle will get by. Dayhoff looking up the inside on the 8 as well. Polhemus loose. Great save from the 33. Everybody scrambles, make sure they don't make contact with anybody. But a great save from Polhemus as he got a little bit of a tag there from the 38. Oh, and there's another, that's going to be another caution. Polhemus, Gross, and Dayhoff involved. Mark Miller got caught up in it as well. Offset 3 there for a second. Burke comes down in front of Polhemus. I think he just over brakes, not expecting Burke to come all the way down. Down into the grass. Gets loose. Danny trying to get away from it. Tries to go to the high side. And we've seen that overcorrect happen multiple times. And Gross slammed there into the outside wall by Polhemus, and then Dayhoff gets hammered by Miller and into the back of Danny. And Wiles actually gets caught up in that a little bit as well. Just the one tap to Miller. So it doesn't look like it's too bad for Wiles. Here outside pole sitter. right, Mangrum and Baker on your front row. Baker's done a great job this season of being able to attack from the outside row when he does not have control. This time, though, Mangrum with a good jump. And he'll get clear of Baker down into turn 1. Borer will be side by side with Kubat. Brad Borer will be clear, and Baker going to get to the inside and get by Mangrum out of turn 2. And Borer with a good run to the outside on Mangrum. He'll have the outside down into turn 3, and he'll clear. Single file for the most part down the front straightaway. Looks like Wilder and Vaughn side by side. Wilder have the inside. Gets a little tight there out of turn 1. He will be clear, though. Right in front of them. Dylan Calkins. Tight contest between himself and Keller. And then right in front of that, Mercado looking to the inside on Hapik. Looks like everybody trying to find their way to the inside. Backwards, that's the wrong direction. Kubat. Heard somebody into the wall back behind that. Wilder goes to the far inside there. That time by Ryzen Baker with the fastest lap with a 52.28. And Ryzen breaking up the draft as much as he can. 6 laps to go in stage 1. As we say, 6 to go. It's coming around here, turn 4. It'll be 5 more laps. It's to be at the end of that lap. The end of lap 23 and the start of lap 24, where the stage will end. Epic and Mercado side by side. This is the battle for 7th. Mercado should be able to clear down here into turn 2. And Fieldley and Freitas get into it. Both cars hit the outside wall very hard, but no caution. And now the caution comes out as Fieldley and Miller get into it. Miller's car is toast. Fieldley's car is toast. Yeah, we're going to go here, but look, we're going to go back a little bit. I don't know exactly what happened. I thought I saw the 27 blinking a little bit, and then the contacts happened here. So the blink there. Down into turn 3, Fieldley just comes down into 32. That doesn't cause the caution, though. So let's follow along with Fieldley. His car damaged severely. He takes a look to the inside. And 70 just drives into him there. see the slow car from the cockpit, and then right, so people pit. And it looks like Polhemus and Hapik will be at the front with Wilder and Baker in row 2. Pace car going to dive off here. Into the restart zone. Polhemus rips away on the inside lane. Baker and Hapik getting a pretty good jump on the outside. Baker will get down in front of Wilder. Everybody gets single filed out. Polhemus out front. Watch out, Mangrum coming up through the field. He's to the inside on Wilder. Up right in front of that. Pfeffer looks like he's trying to get by Hapik as well. And there's a battle for the race lead now as Ryzen Baker looks up the inside on Polhemus. And Baker makes that pass happen for the lead. 77 back out in front. Down some fast lap times as Baker as well. McGarrigle up the inside on Hapik, and that'll put 52 back to the 5th spot. Aggressive move by Mercado to the inside. He'll stay in line behind Burke. Burke goes by Wilder. Looks like Mercado might have been getting a little bit tight there inside the 99. Good hard side-by-side racing between these two. Mercado able to get by as well as Kuba. Hapik and Mangrum side by side. Mangrum should have the advantage here. He'll clear. Borer will look to the inside, as will Wesley Burke. Burke looking to that quarter panel on the 24 of Borer. Won't find it this time. He'll slide up in line right behind Brad Borer. And the caution is out. It's Ryzen Baker this time. 77 heavily damaged. That will require a fast repair for Baker. From the race lead. Gets tight. Okay, just got really tight. I don't know what exactly happened there. It was almost like he missed his mark. And then the car just took off on him. Hard shot to the right front. And then just down into that tire barrier. And that's a strange one. Nobody else caught damage from it, though. There's somebody else that looked like they were getting out of shape there, too. It looks like that might have been Kubat. 38. Got it corrected, though. Great save there. Rob, number 38. So Apex staying out. Appic on the inside this time with McGarrigle to his outside on the front row. And he's the only one that stayed out, so everybody else filling up their tank of fuel. it would be about 18 laps by the time we go back to green, so. Turn 4 here. Base car going to dive off. Into the restart zone. Happy with a good jump. McGarrigle's going to look to the inside down here in turn 1. And there goes the 11 out to the race lead. Burke and Bohr side by side. That's the battle for 5th. Bohr going to get that quarter panel down into turn 1. They'll look to charge back on the inside. A little tight there in turn 2. And get it squared away. Hapik having to contend with Pfeffer, and Mangrum will turn the 52. Throttle stuck on the 77. Okay, that makes a little more sense. That did not... Ooh, that was close. That makes a lot more sense. I was going to say the... That was not how the car reacted most of the other times, so that makes a lot more sense what happened to the 77 of Baker. We'll go back and take a look at this one, though. We were kind of watching it happen live. Well, he hit the brakes. I don't... Slowing down early. In my opinion, still the job of the car behind to not run into the car in front, so. This was very close, though.
Marigold going to take the top here. Closer and closer to the halfway point. Blink from the race leader. Leader on the outside has control, and McGarrigle will rip away. Wesley Burke with a good jump from the second row. Will be side by side with Pfeffer, but that'll be 3 wide going into turn 1. Never mind, Burke able to clear. Mangrum able to clear to the 3rd spot. And Kubat side by side. Clear though off of turn 4. And then 38 looking for the counter punch. Side's better of it. And the caution's out. Keller got loose, but that was the only thing I saw. Oh, never mind, the 32. Man, Dayhoff having more difficulty as that hood is flopping after the contact. Happened in 64 there. Oh, he's disappeared. McGarrigle and Burke will be on the front row this time. With Mangrum and Borer in row 2. As the green flag is back out. Mercado slapped the wall real hard out of turn 2 there. Watch for him to fall back fast. He's got visible right front damage there. Probable wheel damage if I had to guess. But Bohemus gets right to the back bumper. And Wilder looks to the inside. On Bohemus. The 38 of Kubat got the wall that time by out of turn 2. Wilder got tight in the dirty air right behind Mercado. Luckily, he was clear on Polhemus. Killer to the inside on McCrelly. McCrelly will get down in front of him. Collects the wall out of turn 2. Mangrum actually got down into the 51 bracket, down below the 52 flat bracket that we'd seen in practice, a 51.95 for the fastest lap of the race so far for Mangrum. Burke looking for a momentum move from the high line. And Polhemus looking to the inside as Keller goes to the top. He wasn't able to make that happen. Watch for Garrett Wiles. As he looks to the inside on the 38 of Kubat. Momentum off the top will be much better there for the 38. Now McGarrigle down into the 51.98. Not faster than the fastest lap though. McCrelly getting chased down by Wilder now. As the 99 sits in 6th, looking for a top 5 in stage 2. Gets up in front of the 38 for the 9th spot. And this is the last lap of stage 2. McGarrigle got a sizable lead on Mangrum down into turn 3. Smooth and steady. As Andrew McGarrigle gets the stage win. Baker and Kubat out front on a strategy differential. They took shorter pit stops here, so either 2 tires or no tires for those 2 drivers. Baker has the lead, and he will get a great jump. And around goes the 24 at the line, and the caution is back out. Spins the tires. And just nowhere for Polhemus to go. Big time accordion effect there behind Happy, Miller, and McCrelly all getting involved in that. Something to watch for is the heat cycle on the tires now. Obviously, we didn't really get much time there. The more laps under caution, the longer these tires will go for the people at the front. Race car dives off. Baker and McGarrigle the front row this time. It's a good start for both of the drivers on the front row. Good tight battle there for third. Kubat and Mangrum. And around goes Miller. And the caution out once again. Heavy damage there for Miller. He got hooked there by the 22, so not sure if that's going to be the end of the night here for Miller. Not sure what Baker's doing here. Okay, he's coming down pit road. Garrett and Mangrum staying out. Field's kind of split on this, under this caution, so. Strategy will be playing a factor here.
Slayer, thanks for stopping by and hanging out with us here at Indianapolis. Going back to the green flag here, back to racing. Garrigle has control, and he will get a pretty good jump on the inside. That'll keep Mangrum and Kubat side by side. And the 38 gets loose. And back up across the field. Good job avoiding it. A couple other drivers back there. Looks like that's Brad Borer and the 70 of Gerstner. We were on board there with Kubat when that happened. We'll go back and take a look at what happened between Borer and Gerstner. Aggressive move to the inside there by Borer. And the 24 was there. The 70 came down into him. I don't know if... Problem is, I don't know if that was the cause of the caution or not. Kubat came back up across the racing surface too, so that might have just been a combination of the two incidents happening at the exact same time. Hard to tell what happened there. And a few more of those folks at the front coming down pit road. Mangrum, Wiles, and Wilder. McGarrigle, the only one to stay out at the front. Vaughn, Calkins, and Stevenson will join him. We've had some good races this season so far. Right now, Garrett Wiles is on a bit of a run. Number 91 has back-to-back race wins. The last week, he won at Circuit of the Americas. The week before, winning at Martinsville. Race before that, Andrew McGarrigle got himself a race win. He's leading here at Indianapolis, but he had the win at Chicagoland a few weeks ago. And then the race before that, Jose Mercado at Michigan got himself his first win of the season. Those are your last few race winners. Less than 20 to go here from Indianapolis. McGarrigle and Vaughn, your front row here for this restart. Flag is out once again. McGarrigle gets a great jump. Dylan Calkins in the number 90 gets a good one as well on that inside lane. Calkins side by side with Keith Vaughn. Offset 3 wide, 4 wide, still 3 wide there. And Brad Borer into the 9. Mangrum hard to the outside wall. No caution to the green. Shot into the outside wall there from Mangrum. Out front, McGarrigle running away with the race lead. 1.4 the gap. Vaughn holding steady in second right now with Calkins. As Danny Gross will lose a spot to Garrett Wiles. The 91 gets up to 7th. Hard charging towards the front. He'll look to the inside on Mercado down here to turn 3. That pass will get done quickly. As Garrett Wiles gets up to the 6th spot here with 15, coming to 14 to go. Oh, right into the back of the 5. Closing rate definitely to the favor of the 91. And he'll be on the inside. Of Stevenson. Mercado will now look to the inside as well. As Wiles gets up into the top 5.
contact there between Mercado and Stevenson. Into turn 4, Mercado still has the inside on Stevenson. He'll be clear there. Wiles has caught up to Wesley Burke in front of him for that 4th spot. Burke trying to break that draft up. Boers back up to the 10th spot. He's gaining on the 39 of Danny Gross now. Danny will dive to the inside and get out of the way. A few drivers go roaring by. Borer, Polhamus, and Wilder all get by. Right in front of that is Stevenson battling with Baker. As the 77 clears up in front of Ryan Stevenson for the 7th spot. Ryzen Baker has gotten by Mercado for 6th. He's got his sights set on the top 5 once again. Wiles will get to the outside on Burke. Down into turn 3. Up to the short chute. Burke has slight advantage. Off of 4, looks like Wiles will get clear on the top side. And that'll put the 91 up into the 4th position. Baker will get by Burke. Up into the top 5. Garrigo's lead out to 2 seconds over Keith Vaughn in the 23. Garrigle had a drive-through penalty at the start of this race too, and he has found his way to the front with excellent speed so far throughout. This time by will be taking 9 to go for the number 11 car of McGarrigle. Oh, caution! The 99 is around. Wilder was battling up here with Polhamus and Stevenson around the top 10. Catches that curb and then tagged by the 64 down into the grass. Good job by everybody to avoid the 99. And that was the only thing that happened there. So, yeah. Honestly, overall, not too bad there for Wilder, keeping the car clean. Keller and Wilder at the front of the field now, as Calkins and Baker will be row number 2. It looks like CD Manger may have got the car fixed up for the number 9. He and Mercado will be that 3rd row. As the pace car dives off. Into the restart zone. Keller gets a good jump on that high side with Ryzen Baker. And Baker's going to look to the inside down into turn 1. Baker, Keller, Wilder, your top 3 right now. 6 to go. We stay green. There was an incident back there. And Polhamus is involved. Stays green. 5 to go with Baker racing away in the race lead. And the caution is out now. Wesley Burke involved. Seven in the 70 down the front straightaway. Yeah, not sure what that was. And that will send us into overtime. And that was uncalled for as well. Very.
Thankfully, that was handled. All right, first overtime here. They have 3 shots to get it done. Baker and Keller, your front row. McGarrigle and Wilder, the second row. Pace car dives off. Into the restart zone. A great jump there for Baker. He'll get clear. Aggression level will be turned up to 100 here for everybody. Mercado got loose. McGarrigle and Keller side by side. McGarrigle clears for a second. Keller has the 99 to the outside. Wilder backs out of it, and there is a spin on the entry to turn 3, and around goes the 99 as well. And we're going to go to another overtime. So what happened behind that? Not what I meant to hit. Looks like Polhamus and Stevenson on the initial. second chance here at a green-white checkered. Baker and McGarrigle on the front row for this second overtime restart. And Baker with a hell of a jump. And around goes the 91 this time. '64 catches up quick. Gets to that back bumper. Offset tap. Goes again. Gets the 91 out of shape. And then one more for good measure. And around goes Wiles. Yep, shot to the nose there for the 91. And back up onto the racing surface. Caution was out.
Green flag, final chance at a green-white checkered. And around goes Keller, and the caution is out, and that will be the end of the race. Keller gets loose and then hooked up by the 24. And the checker flag flies. Baker gets the win.
And let's take a look at the race results. Ryzen Baker gets the race win tonight with Andrew McGarrigle finishing in second. CD Mangrum in the number 9 finishes third. Brad Borer in the 4th position with Jose Mercado rounding out the top 5. Keith Vaughn with 6th place finish here in the number 23 with Christian McCrelly ending up in 7th. Brandon Dayhoff in 8th. Chris Polhamus in 9th. Sean Happick rounding out the top 10. Ryan Stevenson finishes in 11th. Garrett Wiles in 12th. Paul Pfeffer in 13th in the number 64 with Dylan Calkins in the 14th position. Sean Wilder rounding out the top 15. Jace Keller gets hooked on that last lap. Ends up in 16th with Danny Gross in the 17th position. Rob Kubat in 18th. And take a look at your favorite drivers there at the bottom of the leaderboard. And first up, we will talk with our third place finisher, CD Mangrum in the number 9. How you feeling after the third place finish here tonight, CD?
Feel good. We had a strong car, qualified well. We led some laps early, just kind of trying to manage some fuel there in that first stage. But yeah, we tried to get some fuel there at the last stage, tried to, play strategy, end up getting involved in a little something, broke the toe link, but was able to come back and get a fast repair on it and climb back up to the top 5, got a top 3 out of it. Feels good to be back in it.
Yeah, and like you were saying, you had a strong car for most of the night. You had some good battles up front between yourself and your teammate Jose Mercado, among others. How important was the draft, especially down the straightaways, but also avoiding that dirty air, as we always know in these cars, is a factor.
Yeah, the draft is good, but the dirty air is worse. I mean, it's just tough dealing with it. You gotta time your run correct and really get on it, and you gotta be at their quarter coming off the turn in order to have an opportunity. So, but yeah, just the aero race. I knew whoever would get the lead there. I mean, at any point really, if you got the lead and had a decent car, you could fend off everyone behind you just off the air. But yeah, good race. Sorry to Happy. I really wasn't expecting to break that soon on that ordeal. I don't know what happened between the 99 and I know the 45 was kind of drifting into the wall and thought maybe the 99 was kind of going that way too. So I was trying to hold it on the bottom. I got loose a little bit, but I don't know if he was getting loose and trying to avoid the 45 as well. So we'll have to look back and see what happened there.
What it looked like to me is
Maybe,
it looked like
yeah.
you lost the air off the back of the car. The 91 kind of took, how you swipe across the back bumper. It looked like it was a little bit of you got a little loose there on that bottom and then up into him. But yeah. Next week we have our longest race of the season at Charlotte for 200 laps. How you feeling about your chances there at Charlotte?
I like Charlotte. It's want to be out front, want to qualify well, and then just kind of be out front and try to be there at the end. It's going to be a long one. I feel good about it. Anything happen? Really just trying to get back in the racing shape. Haven't been racing much here lately, so trying to build that back up and get back into it. I know the first couple laps tonight, I felt like I was going to wreck every turn. I told myself I was going to do some practice laps, but I ended up not doing that. So just kind of went in there raw, and came out third.
Well, not a bad finish. Right where you started too. So
Yep.
Anybody like to shout out before we let you go, CD?
Yep. Shout out to the GTR team, Jose. Shout out to the admins and everybody that puts it on. Shout out to the fans, most importantly. Happy to see the fans out there, and we'll get ready for Charlotte.
All right, CD. Well, congrats on the third place finish. We'll catch you next week.
Yep. Take care.
Up next, we'll grab our second place finisher, and that is Andrew McGarrigle in the number 11. Andrew, how you feeling after that finish tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I'm feeling good. Obviously, would have, liked to grab my second of the season, but it is what it is. Hoping to just keep the momentum on going into the playoffs.
Yeah, and I mean, you had a pretty strong car as well. We talked to CD. He said he felt like he had a pretty strong car there at the beginning of the race, and at the end, he felt like he had a good chance to win. And you were leading a lot of laps there in the middle of that third stage. Talk through how important that track position was for you at the end.
Yeah, I mean, track position was extremely important. I ran a lot at the Brickyard over the summer, and that was the biggest thing that, I told myself going into this race. I was like, I gotta prioritize clean air more than tires because that's truthfully all that matters here. And, I kept doing that, and coming with 15 to go, we went green on that. I think it was like 63, 64. And I was so worried because I saw everybody pit for fuel behind me. I was like, I have to pray for another caution. And sure enough, it came out. Took fuel, took 4 tires, and it ended up working out in my favor anyway.
Yeah, and during that green flag run there, you talk about that one at lap 63. You were really pulling away from everybody. Were you concerned about maybe just trying to save fuel and being able to make that work that way?
I mean, I thought about it while we were pacing, but realistically, I think I had 9 laps, 10 laps of fuel going green there, and I needed 17. So my focus was just pulling away and just getting away from the mayhem.
Gotcha. All right. Well, next week we go to Charlotte for our longest race of the season, 200 laps at the Quad Oval. How you feeling about Charlotte?
I'm gonna be honest, I've never really been the biggest fan of Charlotte. I mean, it's a cool track, but I've never really run it much on iRacing with the next gen. But nevertheless, I'm super excited for it. I think it's gonna be a ton of fun.
All right. Awesome. Andrew, anybody you'd like to shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, of course. I mean, my teammate Ryzen, congrats on the win, and everybody else back home. S2 Motorsports, y'all my dogs. Thank you all for everything, and yeah, I just can't wait for Charlotte in the playoffs.
All right. Well, we'll catch you next week at Charlotte, Andrew. We'll see you then.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And that is Andrew McGarrigle, your second place finisher, and we will finish it up here with our race winner, the number 77 of Ryzen Baker. Ryzen, you had a pretty strong car throughout the race. They had the throttle stuck there with an incident that you had in, I believe it was the first stage. It might have been the second stage. Actually, it was the second stage because I think you won stage 1. That's correct. But how are you feeling after the race win here at Indianapolis?
I'm feeling good about the win. Unfortunate. I'm probably gonna get penalized though. I moved before the start-finish line on that last restart. Just got too involved in the restart with my teammate, but is what it is. Can't do much about it now. After my throttle suck, it was really disappointing because my throttle actually unbolted itself at the hinge.
Oh.
Like it came loose at the hinge, and so it was physically, messed up. And that the lap before, you might be able to see I was kind of like overdriving the corners. The throttle was kind of sideways, and I thought it was fine because the last 2 corners I was able to lift fully, but going into I think it was turn 1, I lifted and it stuck at 50%. So I went into the wall, engine damage. Luckily didn't. It blew up before I got to pit road. Had a tow, went 1 lap down, but got that fixed up, and a little bit of interesting tire strategy. Took a while, but got me back up there, and two tire call at the end on that last pit stop helped out.
Yeah, seems like 2 tires was kind of a good strategy to get you back out into the track position that you were looking for. We talked with Andrew. Andrew said how important the track position was when he was out front. I mean, how important was it for you throughout the entire race?
I liked my odds. Andrew won his Brickyard. He talked about it in his interview. He did some Brickyard stuff over the summer. Me and him both won our respective Brickyard races in the NASCAR iRacing series last year, so we had some experience at Indy. And track position is important, but I think I felt fast enough to where I was able to whether I had fresh tires or just a little more situational awareness or experience at Indy, to where I was able to get around those cars, track position or not. Um, and yeah, it ended up working in my favor. Yeah, track position was important. Like, I think it helped out Andrew a lot, because Andrew, um, he was fighting for the lead and stuff. But I think I was fast enough to where I was able to work myself up. Would have preferred to keep track position, but it is what it is.
Yeah, and a lot of times we were seeing people make moves on the top of the corners, on the outside, using that momentum, especially coming off of turns 2 and 4. How important was the momentum out of those corners for you to get that great run down those nice long straightaways?
Absolutely, that had to be my favorite place to pass. Diving into 1 and 3 was always a little sketchy, so you would kind of take 1 and 3 as needed. You could send it in, overtake if you want, but 2 and 4 is definitely the overtaking positions. If you were to just back up the corners a little bit more, maybe wash out a little bit wider to get that clean air, and then you could have like a 5+ mile an hour run on the guys down the straightaway, and you'd be able to side draft them and pass them easily on the entry to the corner if you hadn't already passed them. So it definitely 2 and 4 was my favorite passing zones.
Awesome. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. All right. Well, next week we go to Charlotte for the longest race of the season. Obviously, you're already locked into the playoffs with the win now and the ones that you've already previously had. But how do you feel about Charlotte next week and your chances there?
I like it a lot. I ran the Coke 600 last year, did really well in that. So I did a lot of Carburetor Cup over the years too. They're always, next gens at Charlotte with the fixed set. So I like my odds there as well. So it's definitely going to be out managing, your right side tires and trying to figure out the dirty air, because dirty air is more prevalent than some may think there. But yeah, longest race of the year. That's going to be really fun. Just haven't eaten dinner yet, so got to make sure I do that in advance next week.
All right. Anybody you'd like to shout out before that you go, Ryzen?
Absolutely. Shout out my teammate, Andrew McGarrigle, S2 Motorsports. Andrew did a fantastic job pushing me under caution, saving a little fuel. I definitely needed it. So shout out to him for, going 1-2 with me. Shout out to Premier Racing Setups. I just got, I'm one of their new factory drivers as of late. So I get to race for them and have the name on the car. So it's fun to get the, first one of the season with them officially. Shout out to, Ford Racing, giving me a good car day. And shout out to you guys for hosting the broadcast and the league, HVRL.
All right, Ryzen. Well, congrats on another race win here in the High Velocity Racing League Cup Series. We'll catch you next week for Charlotte.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
And that will do it here for another installation of the High Velocity Racing League Cup Series. Congrats to Ryzen Baker on another race win. I think that is his 3rd on the season. But yeah, that's going to do it here for us. Like we said, next week we are at Charlotte for the Cup Series. And actually, we're at Charlotte for a lot of the racing series next week. Sorry about that. Had a cough. Tomorrow night, though, ARCA is actually off, I believe, right? Yeah, tomorrow is actually our All-Star race. Not sure if that's about to be broadcasted or not, so stay tuned to see if that is or not. And then we come back Wednesday night as Xfinity takes on Michigan, the inferior 2-mile track. I will die on that hill. But they will be taking on Michigan. That's a great track. It's a nice wide racing surface. Should be a good, clean race there for 94 laps for our Xfinity series. So that'll do it here for us tonight. Thank you, everybody, for joining. And we'll catch you on maybe tomorrow, but definitely Wednesday for Xfinity Racing from Michigan.